Hello. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm not sure if my if my microphone is connected. Trying to make sure it is.
Would you feel comfy? Would you be uncomfortable if I'm out here?
No, it's on by the way.
Oh,
No.
give me a kiss then, quickly.
Hello. I'm just getting my microphone connected. Hopefully it's connected. Hopefully you can hear me okay. The two people that are in chat. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Hello. Where's everybody coming in from today?
I feel like you should put it up.
Fancy wine. What?
You should put the thing out so it's the
How?
laptop. So it's
Can we hold it?
like that one might be better, but it's okay.
I'm not gonna hold the computer. Hello. Hey, we can hear you, Sue. Oh, cool. Okay, perfect. Thanks. Pennsylvania, nice. Timmy Kramer. That no, you got an L next to your name, so can't be Timmy Kramer. You got fancy wine. See, it's got fruit in it. It's not shots of water this time. Hello. Hey guys, from Pennsylvania. What part of Pennsylvania you in, Tim? Trying to see if I can copy the link. If I can copy this link, send it to my mom.
Yeah.
What part of oh, 3 people. What? Just got 3 people in here?
Me and Doc.
No, yeah. Yeah,
and
probably.
Tim.
Yeah, Tim. Oh, that's probably it. Northwest near Lake Erie. Oh, okay. I went up there to Lake Erie. I don't think I went through. I saw Lake Erie. I saw the lakes when I was around like Indiana. What are those states up there? Hill. Oh, hi. I thought I said hi. I thought I said Hill, Jesse. Hi. Yeah, I saw the lakes when I was up at like near Indiana and stuff. Nice area. Those lakes, man. I was telling my brother about Lake Erie, Superior, all the Great Lakes. I was like, you literally cannot see the other side of them. They're just like looking at the ocean. It's so wild. It's so cool. Yeah. You like it up there, Tim? Everybody else is joining us. Is anybody else? Or where is everybody else coming from?
It's only 5:01, so.
Yeah.
Me, I'm from Oakland.
Oh, 6 people.
Yay.
Let me see if I can copy. Yeah, it's okay, but cold winters. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I can imagine. Oakland, Jesse. My girlfriend lives in Oakland. It's wild. Yeah, I bet the winters up there are brutal. What was it? I mean, I know you're not quite as north as Buffalo, but a couple years back, someone sent me a picture of the Bills playing, you know, in this dead of winter, and there was fans up in the field there at Buffalo, and they were just covered in snow, and you know, those fans are die hard, man. They, especially Bill fans, man, they are die hard. There's some deer right across the way from me. Not. But yeah, the cold, man, brutal winters. Every time I go to a place that's really gorgeous, like upstate New York or Washington or anything like that, and I'm like, yeah, it's beautiful during the summer or the spring, maybe fall. I wouldn't want to be here in the winter, so I can only imagine, Tim, that you're in a very cold area during the winter. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything. You guys, did you have any specific questions for me or anything? So I was asking you guys if kind of earlier on, I was just kind of curious, like if, and I think a lot of people today answered me in the question I asked, but which was if I was to change up my living conditions, like if I was to change ever be able to upgrade to a van or something like that. You know, a lot of people found the channel because it's car life, it's car living, and a lot of people are interested in that style. And a lot of people look at, you know, a van or something like that is certainly a lot easier. It's a little bigger, so I didn't know if people would be interested in still um, uh, would still be interested in watching the channel if I was in a different setup. But a lot of people answered and they said, yeah, I wouldn't care what you were traveling in. So, which is cool. I'm glad to see that I wouldn't lose half my audience if I was to change up my living situation, my driving situation. But at the same time, I don't have the money to be getting a new rig anyway, so it's a hypothetical situation. It's definitely nothing I'm going to be doing anytime soon. Hey, Greg, remind me where you're coming in from again. I know you always join us, but remind me where you're always coming in from. Um, so yeah, England. Oh wow, that's right. Yeah, you know what? I've never been to Europe. One of these days, I'd like to go. Technically, I've been to Iceland, and I think Iceland's part of the EU. Is that not correct, Greg? So I think technically I've been to Europe, but I've never actually landed in England or, you know, even Spain or France or anything. I would like to. I'd like to one day. That'd be amazing. Everybody's always asking me, "Why don't you ever do you ever want to do international travel?" I'm like, yeah, but I can't afford domestic travel. So, one of these days, I'd like to do some international travel again. I've done some. I've done a couple. I've been to South Africa. I went to South Africa in 2019, and I did Iceland 2021. No, 22. Oh, that's a good question. I don't get scared that easily, Greg. I'll show you. I'll share. Nowadays, especially, I don't get scared hardly at all. I'll share a story with you. So when I first got into traveling, this is a couple years ago, about 2 or 3 years ago, when I had my trailer. Probably about 3 years ago now. I was just starting out with my trailer, and I was in Texas. I was about a month into travel. Not even a full month. Not even a full month. And I was at a campground, and it was just me by myself at the top of this hill. And the way this campground is really just a park, but you could stay there overnight. And the way this campground was, this way this park was laid out, you couldn't see me at the top of the hill unless you drove up the hill. So I was there at night, or I got there before dark, rather. And around 10 o'clock at night, I saw headlights starting to come up the hill. And I got nervous because I was one of my first nights in the trailer by myself. And, oh, SUV RVing. That's right. Yeah. But to answer your question, Greg, so I was at the top of this hill and I saw headlights come up at 10 o'clock at night, and I got really scared, really nervous. Like, why are these people up here? And it turns out they were just trying to find a place to camp because, like I said, you couldn't see that I was up there until you got to the top of the hill. So I got all freaked out. I got in my head about it and everything. And they literally just came into camp and then they just left because there was nowhere else. You couldn't turn around unless you came to camp and like turned around and like left. And that was it. They didn't get out of the car or nothing. They just saw me up there and left. So fast forward 3 years later, I'm in a little small town called Monowai, Nebraska. It's a population of one. One person in this whole town lives there. It's such a small town. It's known as the smallest town in America. It's literally one person lives there. Sorry, I'm sure you heard that. There was a police siren for a second. So anyway, so I'm in this small town, and I'm parked outside this little tavern bar thing by myself in the car. And at like 11 o'clock at night, this car kind of zips by a couple times. And I wasn't nervous at all. And finally, he pulled into where I was, really close to me. And he started getting out of his car, but not like approaching anything. He was getting out of his car and he's like carrying camera stuff. And I remember thinking, I was like, okay, I remembered that scenario 3 years ago when I was when I was at that camp by myself in Texas, and this car pulled up, and I was all freaked out, and I was thinking in my head, like, why are they here? What are they gonna do? Are they coming to say anything to me? Are they gonna knock on my window? Are they gonna mess with me or anything? And of course they didn't. And then fast forward 3 years later, and I'm like, I wasn't even thinking about that guy. I was like, I was watching this other guy at Mono Y when I was there. This other car pulled up, and I wasn't scared at all. I was like, someone else is going to sleep here. So I don't really get scared. And now, um, I guess I just been doing it so long that if another car goes by or if I'm out in nature, I've never had any wild animal encounters or anything. I keep a really, I keep a really clean campsite. So even at night or anything like that, there shouldn't be any animals that come around my camp because I don't leave my garbage out. I don't leave my shoes out. I don't leave dirty laundry out. Like I don't leave anything outside my car. And so I never had any bad encounters with animals. I've never had bad encounters with people. Um, and if I see a car go by me or something like that, I just know they're doing the same thing. They're just trying to camp. They're just trying to find a place to sleep. So I don't ever get scared, to be honest, to answer your question. And I said all that just because to show you the evolution of me thinking when I first got to traveling. You get all in your head about it, and you think, oh, someone's going to come say something to me or do something or whatever. And they're not. Most people are just doing the same thing. They're just trying to camp. They're just trying to find a place to sleep for the night. So no, I've never gotten scared, and I definitely don't scare easily, I wouldn't say. Um, so no, I think it's like anything. You do something long enough. I'm more nervous when I get into a city because there's more people around me, and so if I have to stealth camp and I'm on the side of the street, then I get a little more nervous because there's a lot more people around me, and I'm always worried. Okay, if someone just, even if someone doesn't harass me or mess with me or anything, am I going to get the knock? Am I going to get a cop come and tell me that I can't stay there, or even just like neighbors, because a lot of times I'll stay in like neighborhoods or something like that if I'm sleeping stealth camping, if I'm staying in a city. So will I get someone from one of the nearby houses tell me I have to move or something like that I'm more nervous about than anything, but I wouldn't say I'm scared ever. So Tim, you started watching me when I was in I started watching SUV RVing. I would have watched regularly. Van have more rooms, but two-wheel drive, that's a deal breaker for me. Yeah. They actually, Tim, you can find some vans with four-wheel drive, or at least some people maybe retrofit them to have four-wheel drive. So you can. I've actually come around on vans. I used to say no to vans. Like I was like, if I ever had the money, I don't think I would ever get a van. You can do a lot with a van though. It's super convenient. You turn around from your driver's seat, you're right in your living space. You don't ever have to get out of the car at all, especially if you're stealth camping or if it's just cold or raining or outside. Um, for me now, to get out of the car, if it's raining and I'm tired, I can crawl from the front seat to the back, but it's a hassle. It's much easier for me to get out of the car and walk to the back. And although I've never really had to deal with it in heavy rain, if it was heavily raining and it's 11 at night, midnight or something like that, and I'm trying to go to sleep and I just want to crawl in the back of the car, last thing I want to do is get out of the car, walk in the rain, get there. So a van has a ton of conveniences, right? You just turn around from the driver's seat and you're right there. You put out some blackout shades in your window maybe, and that's it. So a van has got a lot of. I've come around on vans. I've seen some really cool van build outs, and some of them actually do have four-wheel drive, and some of them have really good ground clearance. Because that's the other thing I was thinking. Is like, oh, ground vans don't have a lot of ground clearance, but I think you actually might find a van with good ground clearance nowadays. I don't think it's that hard. I think noises outside the car would scare me. That yes, Greg. I think it's imagination more than anything. When I used to tent camp on the weekends back in Florida, I just do tent camping out in the woods somewhere. You hear something walking around, and you get freaked out. You're like, "What is that? What's going on? What's out there?" But no, it's just it's wildlife. Sure, it's deer. I've heard when before I went full time travel, I did a road trip from Florida to Utah to see the national parks out in southern Utah because I'd never been to Utah before in my life up to that point. And so 30 days I did tent camping before I went full time travel. And Greg, when I was in Bryce Canyon, just outside of Bryce Canyon, in a place called the Dixie National Forest, really beautiful spot, one of my favorite places I've ever stayed. Beautiful spot, but I was tent camping and I was sleeping in my tent. And both nights I was there, I heard like crunching, walking around the gravel area around my tent. Like something was walking around that had like heavier, I'm gonna say like hooves, so like something with like heavier footprints was walking around the gravel. And you're in a tent, you can't see outside. You're like, what is that? what is out there? So I think it was a deer. Who knows? I'm gonna go with deer. So yes, you definitely get in your head, but like anything, you do it a couple of times, you're like, it's nothing. Especially if I'm in a car. Oh. So I think the noise outside. What do you do in your free time in the car? Read, listen to music. Oh, that's a good question, actually. I don't have a lot of free time. I work nonstop as much as I can because the last couple days, me and Melissa have been door dashing around here, and up to yesterday, I've been working on video projects. Um, and when I'm not working on video projects, I'm probably doing research on video projects. Coming up for Burning Man, I'm starting to do a lot more research on like how to title videos and how to structure the video and descriptions and topics I can talk about and stuff like that. So I'm constantly doing research about that stuff. But if I do actually find myself in any free time, which is pretty rare, to answer your question, it's probably watch a show on Hulu. Hulu and Disney are the only two things I have. I don't have Netflix. I don't have HBO or anything. So I usually find a show or a movie, and I need something very lighthearted. I don't like heavy topics. When I'm wanting to shut my brain off and just mellow out, excuse me, and just watch, and just not mindlessly watch something. I need comedy. I need something goofy. I need something silly. I don't want to watch anything serious. I don't. I watch a lot of YouTube too. That's to be fair. I watch a lot of YouTube for its entertainment value, but sometimes I'm also just watching for to learn about something. So the video editing program I use is called Final Cut Pro, and sometimes maybe a new feature comes out, and I'm like, oh, how do I do this? Or I'm trying to do something better with it. Like I'm still trying to like nail down my color grading for my videos and clients' videos. So I'm constantly trying to teach myself something. So I watch a lot of YouTube for information, but also just for fun. I watch a lot of YouTube just for some other van lifer or something like that usually, and where they went to and where they visited, and me nodding my head agreeing that all the things that they're dealing with I'm dealing with. you know Lack of showers, finding a place to sleep. But I do listen to a lot of music and podcasts, Greg, when I'm driving. Yeah, I do. I don't read any books. I'm not a reader. I lose what's the right word? I get.
Interest.
Yeah, I lose interest. Yeah, thank you. I lose interest when I read a book. I constantly am thinking about something else. So I can't read a lot of books. I've tried audiobooks, and same thing, my mind starts wandering. So music, podcasts, I listen to podcasts a lot, not just from I listen to music podcasts, and then I listen to like information podcasts. So one of the podcasts I listen to is called Stuff You Should Know. It's pretty popular, and they just a range of topics. It's stuff you should know. So I always like to learn something. Sometimes it's just completely trivial information that you can't really do anything with. It's just information that, yeah, you're like, okay, great. I know that thing in life, but I can't apply it to anything. But I like history stuff. So I like learning about history stuff. Do you wish you started this? Yes, 1000%, Greg. 1000%. I wish I did start this lifestyle earlier. Uh, I wouldn't like to say that I feel like, oh my gosh, thank you, Jesse, so much. Thank you so much. Um, Greg, yes, I do wish I did this lifestyle years ago, but I also try not to live in a life in a mindset of that I wasted my life before doing something, or that I missed out on somehow of doing something before. I try not to do that because I think you just drive yourself crazy, and I think you just end up going, oh, well, I should have done this 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. I wasted my life not doing that thing for that long. I try not to do that because at the end, you're just trying to drive yourself crazy. But I do wish I would have gotten to this earlier. I like it so much. I love travel. I genuinely love travel. But to also your point, Greg, I think I would have gotten more in my head back then because it's before I ever got into like weekend camping or something like that. Because a lot of this lifestyle started from me just weekend camping, just going on weekend camping trips in Florida and loving being outdoors more and more. Did you hear that? I don't even know what that was. I'm in a neighborhood, so there could be a lot of horns, car horns, and stuff like that. And yeah, so like I probably didn't been more in my head if I started this van lifing. I'm gonna call it van lifing for lack of a better term. If I started van lifing 10 years ago, and I wasn't like into like even had gotten into weekend camping yet, I'd probably really be in my head. I'd probably be really freaked out when I was staying in some of these places. So yeah, I do wish I started it, but I also like to think that everything happens for a reason. So there's a reason why I started so late. Tim, I could DoorDash in a van, but more gas, harder to get around a city with a van with a bigger vehicle. I think one of the advantages that right now I have with the car is that when I have to go into a city, especially door dashing, I'm able to get in and out of parking lots. I'm able to get in. Like we had delivered to an apartment yesterday, and I had a low um, ground had like a low clearance to get through. Like there's a little bridge tunnel thing that you had to go through to get to this apartment. And it was an 8-foot clearance, and my car can clear 8 foot or above, but I can't clear anything less. So we were actually in Melissa's car, but had I been in my car, I could make it, but it was something I was thinking about. It's like I was in a truck or a van or something like that. I couldn't make it back here. I wouldn't be able. I'd have to like stop, get out, walk the food to the back of the apartment complex. So you can, but it's just a little tougher. And again, just the gas. You're just spending so much more on gas in a van. There was a girl that I saw on Bob Wells' channel, and she talked about door dashing, and she's a full time van lifer, and that's I think her only income, and at least that's what she made it sound like in her video with Bob Wells' interview, as she just talked about door dashing, and she had a van, but I think she might have maybe she had a home base or something like that, or she just talked about you doing it in a car. I forget, but she definitely had a van, and a van would definitely be just a lot more on gas. So I think it'd just be tougher. I think if I did maybe if I had a van, maybe something bigger, like like there's like we were talking about earlier, like Postmates or something like that, something that you maybe carry around something a little bit bigger, maybe Lyft. If you had a van, I don't know. Then you got a bed and stuff like that. When you pick up your guest, you pick up your Lyft person or your Uber person, and they get in your car and they're like, "Why is there a bed here?" And you're playing music. Welcome to my Lyft, gentlemen. Yeah, maybe that wouldn't fly over so well. Some mood lighting in the van. Yeah. So you could DoorDash in anything, really. They don't really ask you much when you sign up for DoorDash. They don't even ask you they ask you what kind of vehicle you're in. Because some people DoorDash, I've been in cities before where it's congested enough that there's like bike messengers. So I was just in Fresno, no Reno. I think I was in Reno a couple weeks back, and I was doing some DoorDashing, and a place I picked up from, Raising Cane's. Is anybody on the East Coast? You probably would never heard of Raising Cane's. I had never heard of Raising Cane's. I'm from Florida. I've never heard of Raising Cane's. Out west, Raising Cane's is a really popular chicken tenders place. I've never had it, so I can't tell you how good it is. But I picked up lots and lots of DoorDash orders from Raising Cane's. And when I was in Reno and I was DoorDashing, there was a bike messenger, and he had a DoorDash bag. So I know he was, and I saw him later on in the day, like delivering. But he was like staying around the downtown area. So that's about the only thing they ask you when you sign up for DoorDash is like, do you have a car and what is it? But they don't ask you the condition of the car. They don't ask you, really much more than that. I think they just want to know what kind of orders to send you if you're on a bike or a car. Because if you're a bike, they're obviously not going to send you orders that are, going to take you 10 miles away or something like that. They're probably just going to send you orders just around obviously like the downtown area or whatever you're in. But yeah, you could do it basically in anything. I know I was talking to Melissa about maybe Postmates. I might look at Postmates. There's one apparently a friend of mine in Phoenix told me about one. It's weed delivery and alcohol delivery. I signed up for it, but I was in I was in Tahoe at the time, and I signed up for it, and they're like, we don't need any more we don't need any. They don't call them dashers. They call them just drivers for that app. I don't remember what the name of the app was. I think it's called GoPuff. It was a weed delivery and alcohol delivery, but apparently they pay pretty good. And I signed up when I was in the Tahoe area, and they're like, we don't need any more people in the Tahoe area. Um, but the reason I signed up for it is because the door dashing I pick up. I've never picked up from a dispensary with DoorDash, but I have picked up from like Total Wine or like a beer run from a grocery store or something like that. A lot of times, bottle of vodka out west, you can get alcohol at a grocery store. So Florida, you can't buy alcohol at a grocery store. You can only buy it at a liquor store. But out west, there's a lot. Grocery stores will sell anything, beer, wine, not cigarettes, but beer, wine, alcohol. And anyways, those orders usually pay really well. So I was interested in the other app, the weed and alcohol one, because I was like, they probably pay really well. You can get a $50 bottle of alcohol, and you're getting a commission on that. Plus whatever the tip is by the customer, which usually someone might tip like $10 on that or something. So yeah, I wanted to look into that one, and maybe Postmates. I don't know, because Postmates does a little bit of everything. I think. I don't think they do much food, but I think they do more. Like that's more like straight up courier. Because when I worked at Apple, they used Postmates, so maybe like an Apple order might pay pretty well. Like you might get like $15 out of an Apple order or something, because delivering something that's a couple $1,000s. But yeah. Oh, a couple more questions. I said, two noises scare you, and all of a sudden you keep getting random noises. I know. No doubt. Yeah, it's busy over here today. I don't know why. Maybe it's the football season start August? No. Preseason? Preseason? I was like, maybe people are watching the games and there's commotion going on. But yeah, I'm in a really great neighborhood actually. This is up on a hill in Cali. So it's like way cooler. That's why I got my flannel on. But like earlier down in the valley, it was warmer. But yeah, there's a lot of noises up here for some reason tonight. I don't know why. How often do I see bears? Not very often actually. Not very often, Troy. If you jumped in a little bit late, I was telling everybody earlier, I have never actually had animal encounters at camp, but that's because I keep a really clean campsite. I never leave, Troy. I don't ever leave food out. I don't leave my garbage out. I don't leave my shoes out. I don't leave dirty laundry out. I don't leave anything outside of my car when I go to sleep at night. So I'm not attracting the smells of animals. So if I'm in if I'm in a wild, like a nature place, a national forest or something like that, I woke up one time, maybe a month ago when I was in the Sierras. I woke up and saw a coyote running by my car, maybe 20 yards or something like that. Single coyote. But he was just out there. He didn't even and he was 20 yards from the car. I don't think he had any interest in what I had. So no, I don't see bears hardly ever. The only times I've seen bears is out on trail. I saw one in the Tetons in Wyoming. I did talk to some van lifers one time when I was in Woodstock, New York. I talked to these two people who lived out of a van, and they told me when they were in Wyoming and when they were in the Tetons that their van, they heard a grunt, they heard a sound outside their van, and all of a sudden their van shook violently, like one good push, and they kind of like teetered, and they didn't get out of the van or anything. And the next morning they got out and they looked, and there's a big paw print on the side from a grizzly. So again, I lock my doors at night. I don't keep, if I'm in grizzly country, or especially grizzly country, I would roll my windows up. I wouldn't even put my bug netting on and roll my windows down. I would keep it where no smells can come out. So no, I never see bears. Do you have sex out in the woods? No one's talking about segs. You mean sex? I'll skip that question. Do you belong to a community? No, I'm set. Thanks. Do you belong to a community or WhatsApp group for fellow travelers, or do you just always do it alone by yourself? That's actually a really good question. Okay, so both, Greg. I Okay, so there is an app. Let me see if I can
You can
copy.
talk about the sex.
Do you want me to talk about the sex?
Yeah, it's like nobody talks about sex.
But I do it out in the woods. You want me to say that that's what I've had sex in the woods. There you go. um, let me see if I can find there's an app, Greg, that is called Seeker. Now I don't use it hardly at all. Share. Let me see if I can copy this URL. I'll put it in the I'll put it in the chat.
Special shout out to Dr.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and if Dr. K is watching, thank you for everything you've done for us.
Love you.
Yes, very amazing. He's letting me stay here while I'm in this area. I'm trying to share this app. I don't know if I can get the URL for it. If I can't get the URL, then I'll just type in the name of the app. Yeah, I don't think it is. Okay, let me type in the name of the app for you, Greg, that I do use sometimes. That is a Nomad community app. It's called Seeker, but I'm just making sure I'm spelling it correctly. I think that's it. Seeker app. Give me just 1 second. Let me make sure. Seeker app. Seeker Nomad app, maybe. Oops. Oh, come on. I feel like I'm not spelling that correctly. That's why I'm double checking the spelling for you. Definitely not. Definitely not spelling this correctly. Right, give me a second. But to answer your question, Greg, let me go back to the chat here. Seeker. That's it. That's it. Without the yes, correct. You got it, Tim. Without the R, without the E. I was like, I don't feel like I'm spelling that correctly. So Seeker is a community-based app. So you can use that to find events. So there has been events I've looked at on there, but I've never actually joined. There's one called the Send on Bend that's really big every year they do it, and it's just a big group of nomads driving to Bend, Oregon. I've never done it, so I can't say much about it, but I know it's called the Send on Bend, and it's a really big event. And then Vanstock was on there, and then I think Schoolie Palooza was on there, the one I did a couple years ago. So they do have those kind of things, but I don't use it much. To be honest with you, the few times I've used Seeker, I find it to be, I don't know, that's just not the most user-friendly app. And people have been nice. Like the times I've chatted with someone on there, everybody's been nice, and I've asked about an event or something like that, and everybody's been super nice. But I feel like it could be a little bit better. And you can use it to find places to sleep, but I never use it to find places to sleep. So I don't use WhatsApp, Greg. So I mostly just kind of travel solo. Hopefully Melissa will join me in some future ones. That's what she'd be my community. Are you planning to spend your winter? Oh, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest with you. Wherever Melissa wants to go. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's pretty nice here. It's like fall. It feels like fall here today. It's awesome. We would love to be a member here. Also, oh yeah. So please tell them so we can help out. Send your gratitude. Yeah. I actually have started putting together. When I launch, I've looked at Patreon and I've looked at YouTube memberships and I've looked at other like things to do. Chop me off. I'm still here. I'm just getting a refill on my drink. So I've looked at memberships, YouTube memberships, and I've looked at Patreon, and I've looked at all those other things. Thank you so much, baby. Of things to do for you guys. But I want to, whenever I launch that, I want to be able to give you a bunch of content to watch. Like, I don't expect anybody to pay $5, $10 a month and not hardly have anything extra to watch, right? So I've been kind of backlogging a bunch of stuff so that when I do go live with that kind of stuff, you guys have a bunch of stuff to watch. So eventually, I would like to launch a Patreon or something like that. And yeah, that's kind of in the works. I'm kind of building to that. Dr. Schotzenberger is here.
Kotzenberg.
Kotzenberger.
I wonder if he's
Dr.
here.
K. Yeah. What made you pick Anchor Search? Oh, that's a good question, Troy. That's a really good question, actually. Hello. So to be answer your question, I was looking at a Blue Yeti, Troy. I was looking at, I don't remember which one. So I was looking at around 2,000 watts. Any power station that was 2,000 watts, and talking about all the noises. That's just a bird, so I'm not scared of it. I was looking at something with like 2,000 watts, and I think I was looking at Blue Yeti. I was about to pull the trigger on the Blue Yeti, but I think the reason I went with the Anchor is probably price. It was probably price. I mean, we're talking about like 3 years ago. No, 2 years ago when I bought that. So either the price or one of the reasons I selected the Anchor is because it has a connection on the side of it that you can buy like an extra battery to connect to your power station. Excuse me. So my power station is 1,800 watts, and I was just seeing who asked this question, Troy. So my power station is 1,800 watts, and I thought, well, if for some reason that just I want like another 1,000 watts out of it, I want 3,000 watts. You can actually from Anchor buy just a battery that connects to your existing power station, so you can get like another 1,000 watts. I think that's one of the major reasons I bought the Anchor is I can always kind of upgrade it in the future, because when I first started out with the trailer 3 years ago, I had just a small 500 watt inverter, and I thought that was gonna be plenty for me, and it wasn't even close. I was like, I wish I had 1,000 watts or more. So, and there was no way to upgrade that. You just had to buy a whole new inverter, and I was not in the position to buy a whole new inverter. So, I liked that this one, the Anchor Solex, gives you a way to connect extra battery to it. But the Blue Yeti was really good, and I'm kind of glad I didn't go with EcoFlow. I don't think I was really. I think I was looking at the Delta series, right? The Delta series or the River series. I don't remember. One of them is like a smaller battery, and one of them is a little bit bigger, I think. So I don't remember what they call it. It was River or Delta. But I think I was looking at those, and they either didn't offer 2,000 watts because I was wanting 2,000 watts right around there. I didn't want more, and I didn't want less. So they either didn't have it, or could have just been the price. But I almost went with the Blue Yeti because the Blue Yeti actually had wireless charging on top. So I thought that'd be cool to be able to set my phone right on top and charge. But the way my battery is set up in the car, it's not really convenient to hook up my Anchor doesn't have a wireless charging, but even if it did, it wouldn't be easy to use because of the way it's set up. So yeah, and that Anchor that I have is here, I'll get you guys the URL for it. Is like $500 right now, and I think I bought it for around $800. So it's a pretty good deal for 1,800 watts. There was a time when these things were $1 a watt, and that wasn't that long ago. We're talking just a few years ago. If you wanted a 2,000 watt inverter, you were paying $2,000. It's just so. This is the link to the Anchor one. Yeah, I like that one a lot, and I like that it has a light on the front. That there's been a couple times I've turned that on in the car, and sorry, I just got a text from one of my friend's parents back in Memphis, Tennessee. And anyways, so what are you doing? And so anyways, I like the Anchor. That's the end of that story. I think I talked about that enough. Correction, Seeker. That's it. Thank you, Tim. That's it, Seeker. Please do memberships and Patreon. Hey, this is cool. I was going to check out your videos for some of the brands you use and caught your live stream. Thanks. I'm currently doing a build out for my Subaru. Oh, nice. Yeah, to live out for a year or so. Yeah, cool. Here, I'll send you my link. Liqui? Probably butchering that name. I don't know if you've seen this video. a little over a year ago now. When I first got started, I made a video that is my car build out. So you see kind of how I laid out everything in the car. So if this gives you a little inspiration, a little help on doing your build out, there you go. There's a link to my I don't have an Outback, I have a Forester, but not too different. So same setup. Jump off. So yeah. So yeah, great. I appreciate you joining the live stream. If you have any questions for me, feel free. That's why I do these. Do you have any questions about anything? What did you have any plans for your liquids? I asked about bears because I plan on doing some traveling next year. Oh yeah. Troy, I think the overall, if you just keep a a clean campsite, even tent camping, I've never had an issue with wildlife. And there's black bears in Florida. They're definitely there. When you go if you go to a campground in Florida, you'll have bear boxes. So they're definitely there. Again, they're black bears, they're not grizzlies. But if you, Troy, if you just keep a clean campsite, I think it'd be fine. I don't think you'll have any issue. I think it's when you start leaving your garbage outside, when you start leaving food stuff outside. Tune M1. I don't know what a Tune M1 is. What is a Tune M1? What has been your least favorite state? My least favorite. Oh, so probably something out east. Me and Melissa were talking about that earlier. We are talking about. She said something about West Virginia, and I was like, I mean, there's some beautiful places in West Virginia, but I don't know it's a place that I'm like dying to go back to. My least favorite is probably New Jersey, but only because I went there only to see I went to the Statue of Liberty that way. I didn't want to go through Manhattan because I was pulling my trailer. This is 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I was pulling my trailer, and I did not want to go through Manhattan pulling a trailer. I didn't want to go through Manhattan in a car. I was like, that seems like a nightmare. But I wanted to go see the Statue of Liberty. I never saw the Statue of Liberty before, so I decided to go through. There's a little tour place that would take a ferry out to the Ellis from Jersey. And so I went through Jersey, but the part of Jersey I saw was just all city, right? I saw no nature. But that's on my part because, again, I was there to see the Statue of Liberty. I'm there right across the street from. Did you give me another, Jesse? Did you give me another? Man, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. So, what was I going back to? Oh, Jersey. Just being my least favorite. But again, nothing against Jersey itself. There's probably nature stuff to see in Jersey. I just didn't get to see a lot of nature, and that's all I'm trying to say. Is I just didn't get to see a lot of nature in Jersey. My wife and I have been watching ourselves how to day trade. Oh wow, that'd be cool. Have you ever considered something like this for income? Your true job is being speaking. Oh, sweet. So you're doing a teardrop? Nice. To answer your question, no, George, because I am terrible. Well, not terrible with money, but I don't have a lot of like money knowledge. I don't know, in like day trading knowledge. I don't know. It's just not a thing that I really have a lot of interest in. It would be a great day job for sure. A lot of people do that. And you could do it online, and it would keep me out, and it would keep me away from having the DoorDash. That would be great. But I don't know. I've never actually looked into it. Oh, the turkeys are back. Turkeys and deer come here a lot, which is great. I'm not. How often do you get recognized? I think I should. You should have. Greg, I 1000% agree. I should have more viewers. I don't get recognized a whole lot. Sometimes it'll happen. When I was in Colorado, I was at the Colorado National Monument, and these two women pulled up in a Forester, just like mine, like a newer model. But they pulled up, and they're like, "We've seen your YouTube channel. We're doing a road trip from Florida to Colorado." and they had come across my YouTube channel because I do it all out of a Forester, and they were road tripping across the country in a Forester. So they had watched my channel for inspiration. So it happens sometimes. I was also at a gas station one time, and it was like a walk up to the outside window thing to pay. And this kid looked over and goes, "You have a YouTube channel?" I go, "Yeah." And he starts pulling up, and like 2 minutes later, he comes out. He goes, "I've seen your YouTube channel before." I was like, "Oh, nice." So it happens sometimes, not a lot, but I would love to have more followers. Tell YouTube to get me more followers, Greg. Yes, I'm tall, 6. Whoa, wow, that is tall, 6'4". So I figure the Outback could be good since it's a little longer. It is a little longer, yeah. I'll be compromising the ability to sit up while in bed since I also have the drawer underneath. Yeah, yeah. When I Liquis, I'm gonna say Liquis. When I bought this car, I bought the Forester as a daily driver. I wish, in hindsight, I would have gone with the Outback because it is longer, as you mentioned, and towing capacity. I kick myself for not having something with more towing capacity. The Forester only pulls 1,500 pounds. The Wilderness models will pull 3,000 pounds, but mine only pulls 1,500. I know your Outback will pull 3,000, 3,000, 3,500, something like that. So if you ever wanted to pull behind, that's pretty good for a car. 3,000 pounds, 3,500 pounds. That's pretty good for a car. So yes, in hindsight, I wish I had the Outback as well because it's a little bit longer, and I think a little wider too, like an extra inch or two wider. So you just having that extra inch, it helps a lot too. You can put a fridge in there and a bed in there a lot easier. Mine fits, but I'm pretty tight. So I wish I had something a little more room. Thank you for your donations, Jesse. How's that trade going? It's all U-turns in New Jersey. Have you mapped your route for next fall in terms of destination? Have you ever thought about traveling outside the USA? Yes. Falcon X did. Yes. So earlier in the live stream here, I was mentioning that I have been out of the country a few times. Been to Iceland and South Africa, Dominican Republic, and Costa Rica, and then Canada, if you want to count it, Mexico, if you want to count it. So I have been outside the States. This is all before Iceland. I had the YouTube channel. I was about to say this is all started. I did all that before I had the YouTube channel, but that's not true. I had the YouTube channel when I went to Iceland, and I have 2 videos on Iceland. Here, I'll share them real quick. But I was really mentioning earlier in the live stream that I would love to do more international travel. I just can't afford it right now, unfortunately. So, so I don't really have a map for where I want to go to in the fall, to be honest with you. I'm kind of more of a just week by week, day by day. But then as far as I plan out is like a week in advance. All I know is next week I have to be in Nevada for Burning Man. So I'm going to Burning Man next Saturday. I have to drive up there and meet up with my friend Jeremy. So that's the only thing I can tell you that I have planned for right now. He's still learning, I'll say. Sorry. So, yeah. So I'd like to do a lot more trip. Oh, there's somebody else my question. Before you left for the trip, how much did you think you'd be spending per month? Oh, that's a good question. Have you found yourself spending more or less? Yes, that's a good question, Sanwar. To answer your question, I thought I'd be spending about $1,500 a month. I'm really averaging more like $1,800 a month. One of the videos that I'm working on, but I'm kind of compiling the information right now for you guys, is a budget video. So I'm putting together. Originally, I was going to do about 3 months worth of budget videos, but because other things came up, it's now going to be about 4 months worth of budget videos for you guys. But at least it gives you a 4-month comparison to see each month kind of what I spent on different things, and you'll see that my average is like $1,800. Some months are a little higher, some months are a little lower, but the average is 1,800. So yeah, so yes, to answer your question, I thought I was going to be needing only about 1,500 per month, but it turns out I think it's more the gas and the groceries around here. I've been out west since like January. And a lot of that has been in California, which is expensive for everything. Gas is averaging 4.50 a gallon out here, and some groceries are certainly more expensive than other things. So definitely spending a little bit more. Yeah. So, well, you have to go. Do I need to go soon? Or do I need to come? Okay. Well, I'll wrap this up in like 10 minutes. Um, that's all. That's rad. I'll plan on getting out to Burning Man next year. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. This will be my first burn. I've never done it before. I'm excited, but at the same time, a little apprehensive. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not crazy about being in large crowds. I'm not crazy about being around a lot of noise. I'm not crazy. I'm like not crazy about a lot of things that Burning Man's known for. But I'm going for the art and the music. I do like EDM music, and I know that's the kind of mostly what they play there. I think the art's gonna be mind blowing. These art cars look so cool online, so I cannot wait to see these things in person. I'm going with my friend Jeremy. He went last year for the first time, so he's already got kind of like got a leg up. He kind of knows the ropes, if you will, a little bit. He knows what to expect. So I think the biggest thing is that I'm apprehensive on, like, I'm used to being able to stay remote for a couple days, but then also go to a place and refill my water, empty my trash, maybe grab a shower if need to. But there, once you're in, you're there for like the full thing. It goes from like the 24th to the 1st, I think. And I have a shower, I have my road shower, but I really can't use that there. It's just not really useful. So from what I understand, that they have, Dr. Bronner's has a big tent set up, and you can do an outside kind of, well, I guess it's an outside shower thing. It's just a big tent setup that Dr. Briners has set up that you can do a shower. So I'm hoping I can jump into that and get showers. But there's no water sold there. You have to bring all the water you need. So I'm a little I'm gonna have to bring extra water. So I'm thinking a lot about that. I'll have plenty of food. I'm not worried about food, but I'm also thinking about trash, because it's pack in, pack out at Burning Man. And I'm not so much, I'm used to pack in and pack out, but I'm also used to being able to pack my trash out every 3 days or whatever. Like, if I stay in a national forest, usually 20 minutes away is some sort of small town or a visitor center in a national park, or just a trash can somewhere that I can empty my trash. And you're not going to have that at Burning Man. What you bring, you need to take out, and the next place to dump your trash is like Reno, like 100 miles away. So I'm a little apprehensive about that. So I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to be around a bunch of people. I don't want to be around a bunch of noise. I'm excited about the stuff I'm going to see, but I'm also not really excited about dealing with a lot of stuff. So, okay. Yeah, I'm still got like 10 more minutes on this. So, yeah, I'll just wait here. You be okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
10 minutes.
Well, do you want to go now, or do you? Okay.
10 minutes.
Okay.
Go.
Thank you, George. I do try to cook some. Well, not necessarily try to cook epic meals. I try to cook things I just like. I'm in the mindset that I don't think that you should have to cook dehydrated meals every night or ramen noodles every night just because you live out of a car. I think you should be able to cook what you want to cook. You should be able to cook a full meal if you want to. Why not? It's my home. I live out of that. So when I live in an apartment, I cook full meals. Same thing in a car. I should be able to cook full meals. So that's why I have the 2 burner stove. So should be able to eat the same way you eat in an apartment or a house
Yeah.
out on the road.
Exactly.
You can run behind the water trucks to shower, the ones that spray down the roads for dust. Was it? Do they do that there? I did that once. Do they have that? You pronounced my nickname right, by the way. Oh, quick, Liquis. So they do that there. You've been to Liquis. You've been to Burning Man, and they do that. They spray down the roads. Oh, for the dust? Do they? I know. Everybody tells me about the dust. Everybody tells. I went 2005 and 2013. Oh, okay. And then like a water truck comes and like sprays it all down. I never heard that. Wow. Okay. I like your simple, healthy meals. Oh, cool. Thanks. Yeah, I try to do pretty simple stuff. I like whole foods. I like anything with like real vegetables, real meat, real produce. That's important to me. So, huh? Interesting. They do that. Interesting. All right. Well, good to know. Thank you for sharing that. I'm good to know. You know what I'm thinking about doing? I'm thinking about when I get there. I'm gonna do a live stream from Burning Man. So FYI, I'll put it out there and let everybody know it's gonna be live from Burning Man. So I'll do a live stream from there. I'm also thinking about doing daily vlogs from Burning Man. And daily vlogs are not something I've ever done before. I've never done daily things. As anybody's watched my channel for a little while, you know that roughly weekly is about when I put out content. Um, so instead, and I'll definitely put out like a structured, better edited video after the event, probably 2 or 3, because I think I'm gonna have a lot of content. So I'll definitely put together 2 or 3 like really good, strong videos after the event. But I'm thinking about putting out daily vlogs that won't be very, I'm gonna say, edited well or anything like that. They're gonna be just me holding my phone and talking on the front facing camera for the most part, and showing you some things that I did. But I'm thinking about doing daily vlogs. I thought that'd be kind of cool for you guys. I thought you might like to see kind of like Burning Man in its environment, maybe. Um, my health insurance? I don't think so. Let me get back to this other question first, and I answer your question, Tim. So yeah, so I thought about doing some live streams and some daily events from Burning Man. I'm just horrified thinking about the toilet situation at Burning Man. Is it just? I think it's just porta potties anywhere. But I've used a lot of porta potties in my life, so yeah, it is what it is, Sandwire. I don't know what to tell you on that one. Yes, there's gonna be porta potties everywhere.
Well, we gotta go.
Okay, I gotta wrap it up in like 5 minutes. Okay. Will Trump's bill affect your health insurance? I haven't heard anything about health insurance, Tim. So I'll have to look into that. So I do have what's the call it? Obamacare. What's the United? What's not the regular the government healthcare? It will be interesting how your setup works at Burning Man. Yeah. So actually, look, I'm going to be staying with my friend Jeremy. He has a tent. So I'm going to be staying with him. And then do have the car, so I can sleep in the car. But he keeps telling me, he's like, dude, the dust is so, he's like, you don't even understand. The dust is so serious. He's like, you don't want to be in and out of your car a lot. So he's going to set up a tent. And I do have a tent my own. I might just set up my tent so I can sleep in that if I need to. Going to the woods again. Yeah. Well, we have to go pick up her son. That's the biggest thing, Greg.
Wait, no.
All right, so I do have to kind of wrap it because we have to go pick up her son. So, any last minute or two? Just got out of the work. Yeah, I'll catch you. Yeah, nice. Thanks, Chuck. Yeah, sorry, it's kind of wrapping up. We have to wrap it up a little bit. We have to leave. Sorry, couldn't resist. Yeah, no problems. It's fine. No, we have to go pick her kid up. So, perfect. All right, guys. We do have to unfortunately get going. I didn't realize the time. Kind of stuck up on me. An hour went by really quick. Thanks, Tim. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for everybody for joining. And I will do this again. Maybe I'll do another one before Burning Man. And that way you can ask anything that you guys are interested in seeing, talk a little bit about the event. But I'll definitely do at least one live from Burning Man itself. Welfare healthcare. I don't know, James. I'm going to have to look it up.
Say hi to Dr. Katzenberger.
Yes. Hi, Dr. Katzenberger. Thank you so much for everything you've done.
We love you.
Yes, thank you so much for everything you've done. You've been amazing. All right, guys, I do have to wrap it up. Unfortunately, I do have to get going, so apologies. Thanks, Chuck. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining. I'll see you guys a little later, and I'll announce the next live stream. And I'm gonna try to get some content out for you this week, but it's a little tough. I've literally just been working. I've just been video editing and door dashing, so it's not been exciting. But I'll try to get something out for you this week. All right, see you guys.
We can do another